We're at the Connaught Hotel today to listen to prospects for the US presidential election on November the 6th. Steve Schmidt, formerly on the McCain campaign, Johnny Freedland from The Guardian, and Sir Christopher Meyer are going to discuss with us what they think is going to happen just a few days from now. Jonathan, perhaps 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Democrats would have been telling themselves, this is looking pretty good, the numbers look good, we're going to be back in the White House for another 4 years. It's tightening up. What do you think they're feeling over there right now? Are they throwing this away, or is it still going to be 4 more years of Obama?
They're feeling nervous, is what they're feeling. I mean, the political people, campaign people, in my experience, are always hyper anxious. They worry about everything. But that stepped up and became something very real after October the 3rd was the turning point. So there's real nervousness. They think it all comes down to Ohio. It comes down to the ground organization, on the ground, what they can do there. They're semi-confident there. They think they do have an advantage. But suddenly, this race feels very unpredictable, and it feels like anything could happen between now and polling day.
President Obama is wanting to see what he implemented in the first 4 years. He thinks another 4 years, and that'll be what it takes to turn around. And I think Governor Romney has presented a very stark difference and has shown abilities to grasp economic issues, to understand business, to understand what it takes to begin getting manufacturing and export back into the daily diet of the U.S. I think the momentum is certainly moving, I would believe, coming off of the debates in the Romney direction, and we certainly will see the morning of November 7th. My own personal feelings is I'm not quite sure. I don't believe that it will be as close as many think.
Mitt Romney was looking into the political abyss that night. 90 minutes later, he reset the race. He wiped out $100 million worth of negative ads that were run against him over the course of the summer. He has all the momentum in the race. I think you always bet in politics with the side that has momentum. And right now, Mitt Romney has momentum, and the electoral map in the United States is expanding in his advantage. So where President Obama is under 50% with his approval numbers, on defense, defending states that were once safely in his camp, I think you have to say that Mitt Romney's got a great chance to win this election.
Chris, in London and Washington now, some thought to who we're going to get as a president. Can we prepare in any way for this, make different notes for a Romney or an Obama administration?
This is the tightest race since George W. Bush and Al Gore. So the only commonsensical answer you can give to your question is prepare for either, which means dig deep into their resumes, look at their records, see how the guys react in this situation or that situation. Easier to do with Obama because we've got 4 years of record behind us. Harder to do with Romney, but there's lots of evidence of what kind of president he would be. Look at his time as governor of Massachusetts, for example, and above all, look at the kinds of people he's going to surround himself with, either on domestic policy or on foreign policy. And then you get a fairly good idea of the kind of president who's going to come.
And the unfair question, with 12 days to go, is your money on Obama being re-elected or a new President Romney?
Well, I may be eating my hat on November the 7th, but I still believe that it's going to be Obama by a narrow margin.
Well, that was a really fascinating 90 minutes or so. Quite a lot of feeling in the room that there must be some momentum now with Governor Romney, and people perhaps not quite believing that we're going to see President Romney, and yet the numbers might be pointing in that direction. But some vigorous exchanges. The debates really mattered. Key turning point on October the 3rd when President Obama famously failed to turn up. But a really vigorous exchange, and many thanks to Steve Schmidt, Jonathan Freedland from The Guardian, and Sir Christopher Meyer for what was a really superb discussion today.